Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Tiltingground Untitled Notre Dame USC football podcast. I'm Michael Muto. I'm here with Greg Flamon. Greg, how you holding up?
I'm okay, man. I'm okay. I'm better than I was 24 hours ago, that's for sure.
Well, it's better than I expected you to be. Have you thought it out? Have you figured out what happened? Where to go from here?
I don't know where to go from here, but I did figure out what happened.
Okay, well let's start with Notre Dame. Notre Dame played Texas, and they went to double overtime, which was exciting for someone who's not a Notre Dame fan, and probably a heart attack for someone who is a Notre Dame fan.
I mean, objectively speaking, it was an incredible football game. I mean, I'm sure everyone enjoyed it. Like all the SC fans out there, it's pretty much the best case scenario. Great football game, and Notre Dame lost in horrific fashion. So kudos to all those who are not the Notre Dame fans who listen to this.
I do like that both our teams lost in the two. One got boat raced, the other one lost a heartbreaker.
Yeah, while giving up a 50 burger.
Yeah, good job, us.
Yeah, good job. Good job, D coordinators.
Anyway, so Notre Dame. We saw it was quarterback by committee. That made you mad. You already told me. You already texted me about it today.
As it turns out, that was not the best choice. That did not go as well as they wanted it to.
It's just you're right. DeShone Kizer looked way better than Malik Zaire.
DeShone Kizer is the best player on the team. So that he would be sitting for 4 series in their entirety is a little ridiculous.
A waste of skill.
And not just that, but it was like he got the first possession and he drove 78 yards in 6 plays for a touchdown. And so naturally they sat him down, as you want to do when, you've got a guy who is basically firing on all cylinders on the road in a very hostile environment. So they sat him down, and Malik Zaire proceeded to go 3 and out. And, I was watching the game in Las Vegas with our friend Tim, and we both kind of said, look, we love Malik. We think he's a great kid. This is DeShone's team. And, if anything came out of this, it's that it's clear to everyone that DeShone Kizer is going to be the quarterback from this team for this time forward.
Well, Malik Zaire did have the quote of the week going into the game. They asked him about playing in front of over 100,000 people. And he said, well, it's not like the fans are going to tackle me.
They are not going to come out of the stands and tackle him. That is correct.
Which I thought was a great quote. Better quote giver than quarterback.
Yes, sir.
So, yeah. The running backs look good, though. I mean, let's find some positives. I thought the running backs looked okay.
Yeah, I mean, they look good early. Folston had the big run. But even when he made the run, I told Tim again, if that was Josh Adams, it's a touchdown. I mean, they ended up scoring anyway, but
right, he doesn't quite have the breakaway.
Yeah, he doesn't have it, and it's one of those things. It's like, I really wish we had CJ Procise.
Well, Josh Adams showed the breakaway speed on special teams, though.
Yes, he did.
When you have a star tailback, there's no better place to put him as your gunner.
And look, first of all, I can see why they put him on it because he just demolished that kid. But it's like the word coming in is he has a hamstring problem. We probably don't need him running down as the gunner.
He's already got the knee brace on. I mean,
yeah,
he's your home run threat. And hey, he's our gunner too.
Let's have him covering punts. It seems like a great idea.
I mean, Brian Kelly,
my goodness,
he likes to get everyone reps.
He does. That's true.
How do the receivers play in the first half, at least?
Equanimous St. Brown had just a phenomenal contest.
He looked good.
Like you said in the beginning, 5 catches for 75 and 2 scores. I mean,
the first touchdown was a really good catch.
Yeah, the first one was kind of on a fade route, and then the second one was the one everyone's seen. He did a little cartwheel with the one hand.
Oh, right.
So, good for him. I mean, it's it's a Will Fuller type of production. He's not a Will Fuller type of player, but
Will Fuller was at the game.
He was at the game
with an awful outfit.
All of them. I didn't know what any of them were doing. And first of all, like, feel free to throw on some Notre Dame gear, fellas.
Nope. They got to try to look cool.
Right? It's like you can't show up in some Notre Dame stuff? Well, whatever's fine.
Anyways, we digress.
Weird. I just thought it was weird. So, yeah.
So then the Texas offense did something that every team did against Notre Dame last year, which is big plays.
Yeah.
I mean, we railed about it all last year. I thought, maybe we're finally done talking about it. And no, we're not.
Yeah. I mean, but basically what happened was the secondary, by my count, gave up 7 touchdowns in that game, but only like 3 were converted. Yeah,
that sounds right. Because there was the drop.
The one bad drop where the guy is nowhere near him. They had a guy in the end zone who was running wide open, and he overthrew him. Then they caught the one for the first touchdown, which was a great catch and throw, by the way. I mean, Cole Luke, there are technical things that he could have done better, but I mean, really, it had to be a perfect throw and catch, and it was. So credit to them. And then they had the long one down the seam.
To the ex-quarterback whose name?
To the ex-quarterback, yeah. I figured it out, but no, I can't remember it again.
I know.
We don't play them anymore, so I don't really care to know his name anymore. But yeah, so they had the long one that went to like the inch line. They had the actual touchdown, and then they had a pass interference. So, I mean,
that's a bad play.
6 or 7 times where you're giving up touchdowns. Like, these guys are running free behind you. And
it seemed like number 28, who was that? Like
24, Nick Coleman.
Nick Coleman. Oh man, he was bad.
He was not having a good night at all. It's one of those things. Like, I don't know what they're trying to do, but I mean, it seems like he's just impressed and he's just getting outrun by this cat.
The bright side, I feel like that's probably one of the faster receiving groups that you may run into.
I think so.
Fingers crossed.
Probably so. Yeah.
Because it wasn't like they were running great routes or anything. They were just running.
Straight
past people.
It's not complicated. And then what they did was, so then they backed the corners off, and then they would just do the quick little look pass for 7-8 yards every single time. It was completely uncomplicated. And then whenever Notre Dame would blitz everybody and cover 0, they just hit a quick little slant to the inside slot receiver. It's like, it's not. This freshman quarterback, like, it's not like he's reading coverages and he's going off, he's checking different receivers and that sort of thing. Like, it was very simple. It's like, if you get man coverage outside, then throw it deep. If they play off, then just throw it short. And if they blitz everybody, then throw the slant. Like, he didn't hit any kind of dig route. He didn't any kind of curl route or an out route. He didn't have to hit any of that.
It's pretty basic stuff.
Yeah, and Notre Dame made it very easy for him. Like, they telegraphed everything they wanted to do. And the one time they dropped a guy in coverage, they showed pressure, and then they dropped people back. He rushed the throw, he threw it too high, and Sean Crawford got an interception. It's amazing when you disguise things against a freshman playing in his first game.
And unfortunately, you were right. Avery Sebastian is terrible.
I mean, look, I actually I give him credit for the way that he played, because look, it's not his fault. Like, it's not his fault that they had him out there and just put him in some terrible positions, because they did. Like, they've got him one-on-one in coverage in space. Like, that's not his game. He's never going to be good in that position. So it's like not surprising that he would miss tackles and that he would be exposed in the slot.
But he's not a good enough player to be put in positions like that.
Yeah, like they put him in that spot. Like, I can't blame him for that. Like, against the run, he was solid. Like, when he came up in run support, he was solid. Like, he had 7 or like maybe it was 7 tackles or 9 tackles. I can't remember which one it was, but but then he had some just terrible missed tackles. He had a missed tackle on a 3rd down on a quick throw where it's just, I mean, you got to make the play, and he didn't. But it's like I was saying, like, he hasn't played real football in like 2 years. So It's like, of course, he's not sharp. He's playing in his first game in Texas Stadium. Like, what do you
Right.
expect? Like, it's like those are the things that happen when you're playing your third team safety.
Well, like you mentioned, your guy, Sean Crawford, he had the interception. Then he had the big, crazy play of the PAT block return, which was kind of fun.
Yeah, it was great. And actually, to be honest with you, when he was returning it, I was like, wow, this is nice. Like, they're going to tie it. But I almost wanted them to make the extra point because then Notre Dame gets the ball and they are tentative with it. Like, they run straight up the middle, and they try a pass.
Oh, because they're protecting it. They're protecting the tie as opposed to
right. They're
trying
protecting a tie as opposed to like, hey, we have to be aggressive. Like, we have 4 downs to do what we want. I like it when they're aggressive. Like, they weren't aggressive at all.
No, those plays towards the end of the game were pretty crappy.
And Texas, they were driving, like they were in field goal range, and then Notre Dame got that lucky chop block, and then the guy snapped the ball sideways again. So, that's just they got lucky on that one. Like, Notre Dame should have lost in regulation, really.
Right. So how did who are some people who played well? Let's find some guys who played well. Just quick hitter. Who do you think played well?
Well, St. Brown
besides Deshaun Kaiser.
St. Brown played well. I thought C.J. Sanders played really well. He caught the screen. He had a few good returns, and then he had a little short pass, and then he cut it across the field for about 20 yards. So, they need to find ways to get him the ball some more. I thought the offensive line was just okay. I thought towards the end, and they weren't really like Notre Dame wasn't. They ran the same 2 running plays all game, so it makes sense that they kind of got a feel for what they were trying to do and how they were blocking them. So, on defense, I don't know. I don't know who played well, and I don't know who played bad because none of them looked like they had any idea what was going on.
That's a fair point.
It was awful. Like, I don't know what they're trying to do. I don't know what they're supposed to be doing. So it's like I can't even evaluate who did well and who didn't do well. Like, I can say Devin Studstill, the kid who came in for Tranquil at free safety, the true freshman, I thought he played a great game. He was in for basically half of it, and he finished with 7 tackles.
That's pretty impressive.
And he had a couple missed tackles as well that are just like, those are plays that he'll probably make like later in the year. But like, he looked good out there. He showed good range. He tried to jump a pass that the quarterback kind of pulled back and then ran for a first down, of course, because that's how it went every night, but all night. So I thought he looked good. Sean Crawford, like, he's just always around the ball. Like, that's in his first game ever. You saw why I think he's going to be so good is because, like, he finds the way to be around the ball. He finds a way to make plays and just, always be in the mix. But as far as everybody else, I have no idea. Like, Texas is running straight at them, and Notre Dame's sitting there and 3 down linemen. I don't know why.
Always.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know what they're trying to do. So it's like I can't say anything really about the players on defense.
So the echo's back.
I can't hear it.
I know, I can't though.
Oh, okay.
All right, so you hang up. And come back.
Okay.
It's weird how it gets worse.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Ruh-roh.
Okay.
There he is.
This thing
You
was
gotta be worried.
It was being stupid.
Yeah, it seems to be the case for this evening. Okay.
Yeah.
I know what I was about to say anyways.
Okay.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
So we said this a lot last year. Is it scheme or is it players? I mean, I feel like we've been talking about this for a whole year now, and it's got to be on Van Gordon, right?
Yeah. Look, I don't know if it's scheme. To me, it's like implementation. Like, I don't know what they're trying to do. I assume a better coach could get the kids to do the exact same system better. He doesn't coach it. Like, look, the scheme I'm sure is fine.
But is it? I mean,
like you can't okay, I'll put it like this. You can't tell me that a Jim Harbaugh coach team with the same scheme on defense would not be better than this.
True.
Like you can't tell me if Nick Saban running the scheme that Notre Dame is running now would not have these kids better than that.
But I mean, if you're the defensive coordinator, shouldn't you be a good enough coach to realize that the talent you have on the field isn't understanding or capable of doing what you're asking them to do?
Shouldn't you, or does he?
Yes, shouldn't you?
Like, of course you should.
Clearly he doesn't.
Of course you should, yeah. I mean, they've been bad for 2 years. Like, people always talk about the talent, right? People always talk about the talent. It's the talent, right? They don't have who Alabama has, and they don't have who Clemson has, and they don't have who Florida State has. And that's all true. But you know what? They get the same type of players on defense as they do on offense.
Right.
When they signed Deshaun Kaiser, no one was fired up. When they signed Will Fuller, no one was fired up. When they signed Josh Adams and CJ Prosise, no one was fired up. They play offense, they're great, right? They receive the coaching that they need to excel at the college level. They get the same types of players on defense. It's not like Notre Dame is recruiting 5 stars on offense and 3 stars on defense. They're all across the board. That defense is littered with 4-star players. The offense is consistently good. The defense is consistently bad. I can't blame the players on the defense when the same types of players on offense are excelling and they are doing poorly. It's clear what's going on here.
Bad coaching?
Yeah. They're not teaching it.
I mean, UMass put up big plays on this defense.
Everyone.
Everyone. No, yeah, everyone does. I mean, that's true.
You know, like Texas last year, I mean, I thought Notre Dame would do better just because they generally start the year well, and then, you know, things happen and teams kind of figure out what they're doing and then they expose them. It's like they were great against Texas last year, and then Virginia came in and just totally ripped them to pieces. I can't, like, basically Brian Van Gorder rendered a guy like Jalen Smith to be a non-impact player. And
were there any sacks? There was like one, right? One or two?
who?
Against Texas.
Last night,
yeah.
they had 0 sacks. They did have 1 quarterback pressure.
Oh, hey.
And 1 hit.
Because they're just so bad at turnovers and pressure and sacks and things that good defenses do.
Well, they had a pressure. They don't. That's the one thing that they don't have is they haven't been able to recruit a pass rushing defensive end. But then the guy that they did get, Dalen Hayes, that we talked about last week, like he didn't play. So it's like they don't get a lot of them, and then the ones they get, they don't put in the game.
I mean, it couldn't have hurt, right?
I don't know. I mean, they gave up 50 points. And Texas had 7 trips into the red zone and scored touchdowns on 6 of them.
I thought Tillery looked really bad.
I don't know who was bad because I don't know what they're trying to do. I don't know.
Well, I assume in the most basic form, they're trying to stop the other team.
Right, but like I don't know if Tillery look, everyone's saying the linebackers were terrible, and you know what? They didn't play well, but I do know that they had linemen in their face all game. It's like the defensive line is supposed to eat up blocks.
That didn't look like it happened.
What they're doing is they're slanting into gaps and letting the linemen get off on their linebackers, and they're slanting away from where the ball is running. So it's like they don't even have to be blocked. And those guys are blocking your linebackers. So it's like they're taking on blocks 4 or 5 yards down the field, shedding those, and tackling the guy for 6 or 7 yard gain. You know, it's like they had like no tackles for loss yesterday. They had like maybe 2. And one of them was on a outside bubble screen that the corner came up and tackled the receiver. It's like they're not getting him in the backfield.
I couldn't believe that when they ran the 18-wheeler package. It's like, they're running. It's like one time they threw it, but like what's about to happen, and then nothing. They didn't bring in an extra D lineman. They didn't blitz. It's just like, let's just let them run at us. Hopefully we can tackle.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what happened on the touchdown that won the game. A guy got in the backfield, didn't make the tackle though.
No, he did not.
It's like, let's just let him run at us and see what happens.
Yeah, I can't get on players when I don't know. Like they all looked lost. Like who you could point to, like Isaac Rochelle, like he had a pretty good game, and Niles Morgan had a ton of tackles. But they all looked completely confused.
Like they're just running around.
They're looking around at each other,
trying to make plays, and like, wait, who goes where?
They're not getting lined up. They're not getting off the ball. It's like on the one play down the middle to that receiver kid who was the quarterback, the ball snapped and Sean Crawford's not even looking. He's looking around. Like making sure everyone's lined up. And next thing you know, this guy's running up the seam and Sean Crawford's just chasing him. It's like, what, is Sean Crawford not a good player because he's not paying it? Like, you know what I mean?
It's like someone's got to count though.
Right. But it's like he's looking around, making sure everyone's got the check. And you got a receiver running up the seam, and he's chasing him from behind. Drew Tranquil, I have no idea what he's doing. He's like all the way on the opposite side of the numbers. This kid's running free down the middle of the field. It's like, is Sean Crawford, is he not good? I feel like he's pretty good. It's like, but he's not good when he doesn't know what he's doing. And this is 3 years of this now. 3 years of a unit that people are just running free.
That's the really scary part.
And the sad thing is, this is all known information. This is not surprising to anyone. No one is shocked. No one can say, I didn't see this coming. Like, you could absolutely see this coming because we've already seen it.
It happens every time.
Yeah. So it's like now another season is thrown away because they retain this guy.
So what happens next week? Who starts at quarterback? Let's start there. Next.
Kaiser. It's Kaiser
for sure.
Of course. I mean,
are you certain?
It's plain as day. Am I certain? No, I'm not certain.
Okay.
But I mean, It's like I'm not,
I hope.
Brian Kelly could implode and, completely botch the whole situation. That can happen. But, in my opinion, it's going to be Kaiser for the rest of the season. He's the best player on the team. I don't even think it's close.
I think that's true. What about the defense? Can the defense handle the Wolfpack of Nevada? It's a home game.
They probably can. I mean, look, just through Texas plays really fast. They play like really kind of quirky. So, that's probably one of the worst types of offenses for this young team to play with a bunch of new starters. So, look, they'll improve, but, I don't know what their ceiling is. Will they improve to top 50 in the country? And it's if you're top 50, then, does any of this really matter?
No.
It's you're top 50. Great. We're going to be 8-4. Super.
My favorite part about all this is I think Texas is just going to squander this and lose to teams like Oklahoma and TCU now or whoever they play.
Of course they are, because they're not going to let Texas just chuck the ball.
That's my favorite part of the whole thing.
No, they absolutely are going to.
Is Texas back? Nah, probably not.
Look, Mike, we may lest we forget. In 2009, Notre Dame made Tate Forcier look like he was a Heisman Trophy contender after he played Notre Dame.
I remember that.
And then 9 games later, he was benched. I mean, Notre Dame has a history of turning people who are not good at football into, Heisman Trophy talk. So that Texas defense is for real. That Malik Jefferson kid is unbelievable.
Yeah, he's good.
But, I don't have a ton of confidence that they're going to, win the Big 12 or anything.
No. So they're saying this is probably the biggest crowd that the Nevada Wolfpack will ever play in front of?
Well, last week
has ever played in front of?
Last week they played in front of 19,000. Notre Dame Stadium.
When Cal Poly came to town?
Cal Poly came to town. Interestingly, Notre Dame in 2008 played Nevada with Colin Kaepernick at quarterback for Nevada. This might be the most incredible stat of all time. Okay.
All right.
Notre Dame's defense in 2008 was one of the worst defenses in school history. They were awful. Okay. And they played Colin Kaepernick, who, was a really good college player. What was the score of the game in 2008? I will make you guess. It was 35-0. Notre Dame beat Nevada 35-0. They shut out Colin Kaepernick.
Wow.
Yes. So, fun fact. They have played Nevada before.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
All right. So should we switch it up? Should we go to the blowout that was?
Well, I would we should probably do the line.
Oh, yeah.
And Notre Dame, I think it's 20, is it 24, 27?
Give me one second.
I think I'm pretty sure it's 27.5 that they're favored by. If it's 24 or 27, I don't care what it is. I'm taking the points.
I also want to point out I want to thank Las Vegas for Notre Dame Texas game was going to be high scoring because they had that thing at 60 and they almost hit 100.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Notre Dame, Nevada. So the line may change when you listen to this. Yes, it's at 27.5.
Yeah.
So you are taking the points because you fear Notre Dame on a short week and that bad defense.
Yes, short week plus terrible defense.
And just sad all the way around.
And just sad. And by the way, again, I would just like to say thank you to like the Notre Dame athletic director, college football in general, for just not caring about amateur athletes and giving them like one less day to prepare for a football game. It's ridiculous.
It's all about the money, man.
It's all about the money that these kids will never see. Like, look,
get that TV rating.
I am not a athlete should be paid guy. Okay? But don't make it freaking like don't make it a mockery. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, you're really rubbing their nose.
Yeah. It's like, oh hey.
You guys have nothing better to do. Play football for us and mess up your week.
You know what else we need to talk about, Tim? I mean, Tim. I was with Tim all weekend. That's why. You know what else we need to talk about, Mike?
Go on. Tell me.
We need to talk about this targeting penalty debacle, bro.
Oh my God, we didn't even bring it up. Good. We still have a little more Notre Dame.
Yes,
time.
we do.
That was so bad. That guy was headhunting. It wasn't the worst targeting of the weekend, but it was right up there. And for a non-call, ugh.
I don't. Did
they not see it?
It's right in front of the guy. It's literally right in front of him. I don't know. And like we're at the Vegas Sportsbook, and first of all, like there were 5 of us cheering for Notre Dame and like 50 people cheering for Texas.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. So, you know, this kid does it, and I'm just like, what in the world is going on? Like, it's one of those things where it's like, wait.
You're waiting for the flag. It's
am I in like an alternate universe? Like, is this just not a thing anymore? Like, is targeting not a thing? It's like his head's bleeding, you know, like he catches it and he like immediately like drops the ball because he's unconscious.
Doesn't know where he is.
And it's like, nope. And it's like,
clean.
Like, what's the explanation? Like, I don't get it. Like, and you know, I'm thinking like there isn't a person in the world who doesn't think that this is a targeting call.
Like if we're calling targeting now, like that's a thing we're doing.
Yeah, and it's like, and the most frustrating thing is like Notre Dame's like over the past like 3 or 4 years, they've had like 4 guys ejected from games for just some ticky-tack garbage. And dude, I mean, like
Joey Bosa agrees with you.
Exactly. And like, dude, that game is like that play is going to be on the next like instructional video on what targeting is. It's like he launches himself, leads with the helmet, and hits him right in his face. And it's like the Big 12 refs, like they can't even. It's like we're not going to look at it. Like
look at us.
It's like you look. They add the rule.
Just a hustle play. Just a heads up hustle play.
As of course, the ACC comes out today and it's like, yep, it's targeting. Probably should have called it.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you for that. Appreciate it.
Captain Obvious.
No big deal. No big deal. It's only the game. Jesus.
That was really bad.
I mean,
referees. I mean, you hate them.
I do hate them. It's one of those things like if I'm Brian Kelly, it's like I'm pulling my guys off the field. Like if you're not going to call that, then we're just leaving.
I actually have an officiating question for you when we get to SC.
Okay.
So put your referee hat on.
All right, I'm ready to talk about USC. And by the way,
oh my God,
I really think that USC is in the same position as Notre Dame, but it's not just the defense, like it's the whole team.
The whole team. Yeah. Well, I mean, let's get to it. I mean, everybody is mad at Pat Hayden, which is great because he's not there anymore. Thanks for getting mad at him now.
Totally.
All right, so USC Alabama, it was final score 52-6, and I think if you were watching, what was it, Auburn Clemson, and I told you that Alabama didn't take the lead till 7 minutes in the second quarter, you wouldn't believe me. Like, first, yeah, I was happy because USC, you know, they are actually moving the ball a little bit. They hit a big play.
Darius Rogers.
It was the Max Brown era. Yeah, Max Brown era. Bang. And they had that lucky field goal. You're like, oh, great. The guy hits the upright, then the crossbar, then the ball bounces in. That work out for USC. Like, okay. Then the
Uh-huh.
defense comes out, they stop the quarterback, USC gets the ball back, then it turns into punt city. Like it was just punt after punt after punt.
Well, it became very clear that USC could not block them.
No, they could not. Well, they couldn't run the ball.
No.
And they couldn't throw the ball because Juju Smith was covered, and I don't know what else they tried to do.
I mean, you're talking
guess.
like max 2 seconds to throw every single time.
Yeah, but well, I mean, so look, you're playing Alabama, right? I mean, you're the coach of USC, and Alabama's good, like crazy, right? I feel like I'm not a football coach, but there are things you can do when when the rush is coming and you're having trouble blocking it, or speeding up your tempo, or your quarterback doesn't have time. Like there are things you could do. Screen passes to your best player, like I don't know. That seems like something you could try.
Right.
Swing passes to your really fast running back. That seems like something that could happen.
Mm-hmm.
Draw plays.
They all work.
Those are things you do when you're having trouble with pressure. Those are things I never saw. Like, it's like what is going on? It was just so frustrating. It was just so frustrating.
Yeah. I mean, the problem is like when you have no chance to block them, like half of your playbook is basically just meaningless. Like you just throw it away because like you have all these plays and it's like, yeah, they're great. We can't block them. We have 2 seconds to throw every single time.
Well, I felt like the run blocking was even worse than the pass blocking. Like the runs were just stuffed. Like there was just nothing going on.
Well, it's, like we talked about it last week. Like if Chad Wheeler can't play, then it's like you had a hard time blocking them anyway. But then he came in after.
Looked like crap.
He did look bad. He looked bad. That kid number 22 was just working him. I
mean, this is an offensive line that some people said was the best in college football. Like, give me a break. Like, they didn't even look like the best in the Pac-12. Like, like I get it. Alabama's really good. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I understand. And USC hung in there for a while. And Alabama scored their first touchdown on pass that got intercepted. Like, fine. But there was no fight. There were no good plays. Like, it just. Like, of course Alabama was going to win. Like, of course that was going to happen because USC couldn't do anything and it didn't look like they were trying to do anything. It just looked like they were just trying the same stuff over and over again.
Yeah.
And being like, oh, it didn't work again. Oops. And then you have the two bonehead personal fouls that put Alabama in good field position when this is a field position game at the time when they happened.
Right.
It's like, thanks, Jabari Greer, for nut stomping the guy on the kickoff.
Jabari Ruffin.
Whatever. I'm mad at him. Hey, but he's going to play next week because he wrote an apology letter.
Yeah, he's sitting the first half.
Yeah, great.
I want to know,
coach.
like, the Alabama kid, like what is he like? Like, is it handwritten?
Oh, I feel I didn't really look into it. I just assumed he wrote it to his teammates. Like,
what?
Sorry, I didn't think he wrote it to the kid.
Oh my God! Apology letter to his teammates.
That's what I assumed happened. It was like an apology to like the world, not so much the kid. Let's see what else made me mad. So I heard. This is what I heard. Is that things are kind of the same. So I heard that when Sam Darnold came in, Clay Helton started calling the plays.
Right.
Or I heard that like halfway through the game, Clay Helton started calling the plays.
Right.
Either way, like that's not good. When like,
I mean,
what's happening? Like, oh no, emergency!
Halfway through the first game of your first like time calling plays for T. Martin, and it's like, no, you're not going to do it.
This isn't working. Yeah.
But it's like, why? Like at that point, it's like you're down 45-6 or whatever. Just let him call it.
Yeah, I know. Who cares? This is when you learn.
Yeah, it's like like the play calls are the problem at this point?
Well, let me actually tell you something. Before the game even started, I was thinking when I was watching College Game Day, and I was like, oh man, this isn't going to go well. This is a national stage. These clowns are going to lose. I was like, well, what's worst case scenario for USC? I'm like, okay, what if they get just boat raced? I'm like, well, that's probably not actually worst case scenario because it happens to everybody every now and then. And you probably look a lot worse than you really are. So like what really would have made me mad was like Alabama going up like 17-0, USC scoring and like trying their hardest. And then Alabama scoring again. It's always about like a 17-point gap, whatever the final score is.
Yeah.
I'm even like, oh man, these guys are garbage. Like they can't even compete. Like they're trying their hardest and this is as close as they can keep it. At least this way, when you just get the crap beat out of you, it's like, well, who knows how good they really are because like once the wheels fell off, the wheels fell off.
I mean, I think it's absolutely true because like I was saying, like I have no idea how good USC is. Because they couldn't do anything.
Right.
And like even on defense, like they scored like Alabama's first touchdown came on a play where Iman Marshall shoved the guy out of bounds and then just like stopped covering him. Like I don't know if he thought that because
so that was my question.
He went out of
Actually,
bounds,
that was going to be my officiating question for you.
Okay.
I thought that it doesn't really matter, but I thought that when you go out of bounds, you can't be the first one to touch the ball.
In college, if you're forced out, then you can. In the pros, if you go out, you're out.
Oh, okay. That's kind of what I assumed the answer was going to be, but I
right.
didn't look
they
into
always
it.
throw their hat, but if they're forced out, then you know.
If we're nitpicking, I felt like that receiver stayed out of bounds a little extra than he could have, but whatever.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely
got back in bounds.
He definitely used the gap that he had for himself to his advantage.
But still.
Yeah, but so I mean, it's kind of a fluky play, right? And the second touchdown came when on the tip pass.
When the two guys blitzed. Oh
no! On the tip pass, he scores a touchdown. So the defense even on the field.
Right.
Then the next touchdown is like you don't even cover a guy, right?
Right, because your D coordinator calls blitz, and the DBs don't know which one's supposed to go, so they both go,
and they don't cover someone.
I mean, they really lucked out because the quarterback was looking right at it. If he was looking the other way, they probably would have got the sack.
Right.
It's like that kind of was. He had to put it over the linebacker, so that kind of was bad luck.
So the next one came when the punter dropped the ball, and then he just fell on the ground. And then the next one came and they had like a 74-yard run. So I mean, it's not like Alabama had a bunch of sustained drives,
No.
So I mean, you don't know if the defense is good, and you don't know if the offense
the defense
is
supposed to do too, because like they're always on the field in bad spots.
Right. So it's like you don't know if the offense is good, because like what happens when you play a team that you can actually block?
Hopefully good things.
Right. So it's like you're just not at Alabama's level. But then who is?
Right. I was a little concerned by Porter Gustin. He had a lot of tackles, but I felt like he did not make an impact on the game. Like on the one quarterback touchdown, the tight end blocked him. It's like, come on, man, you should be able to beat tight ends. Cam Smith looked good. He had a bunch of tackles. He was all over the place. Iman Marshall had the interception, so that was a promising little thing.
That was a good play.
Adoree Jackson, tackle machine.
Right.
Didn't see that coming at all.
I will say, because Adoree Jackson had that one big, like a kind of a big hit, right?
Yeah, he I think it was like a some kind of like run play that he blew up in the backfield or something.
I felt like, and again, Tim and I were saying this, I felt like every big hit in that game was made by an Alabama player. I mean, those guys were just crushing. I mean, like the hit on Stephen Mitchell early. Like that was one of those like, oh my goodness, like wow.
When they tried the jet sweep.
Yeah, and he just freaking
stupid play.
Just stuck his helmet in his chest. And I mean, it's a miracle he didn't fumble. He tried to fumble.
Yeah, he tried his best to fumble, but he hit the ground first.
Yeah, but those Bama kids, man, they're just different. They're just different.
They're just good.
Yeah, I don't know what they got going on over there, but I mean, when they hit you, it hurts for a few days.
And they're all always in the right place.
Yeah, it's amazing what good coaching does for you.
I don't know if you saw, but Lane Kiffin tweeted the game ball picture. And he used hashtag LAX 3:14 a.m.
No, he didn't.
He did.
You're lying.
I swear.
Oh my God.
I know. I
have to look this up right now. I mean, in all honesty, like that's a little.
I think he just kind of knew what the people were saying, so it was like, "Hey, I'm gonna Lane Kiffin out here for a second." That's classic.
Post game. Oh, his kid had the ball.
Yeah, his kid had the game ball, and the hashtag he used.
Hashtag 3:14 a.m. LAX. Oh snap!
Wow. I mean, he went play action deep, like in the fourth quarter.
He totally did.
Which was like the biggest FU.
You know what's so sad too is those two quarterbacks are the worst quarterbacks that USC will play this year.
Oh, Cooper Bateman and
Blake Barnett.
Blake Barnett and Jalen Hurts.
Hurts, yeah, they're terrible.
Right? I mean, they've never played before.
I don't care. They're terrible.
Well, I know that just makes it worse.
There's a reason that they're terrible, but they are nonetheless bad.
Well, we assume that the defense will get better. Hey, look, your guy, Calvin Ridley, didn't do anything.
No, he did not.
I mean, I don't think they needed him to, but that's not the point.
That is not the point.
So we can assume that Adoree Jackson played good coverage.
Yeah, I guess so. And whoever was covering Juju Smith.
It seemed like everyone probably was because the rest of the receivers are garbage.
I mean, when you only have 2 seconds to get open.
Hey, the Darius Rogers era can end at any moment if it were up to me. Like that, he dropped 2 passes. It's like, you're a receiver. It hits you in the hands, catch it.
Catch it.
Sorry.
Catch it.
Like, that is your one job.
I mean, to be totally honest with you, like
Dante Burnett.
I have some bad news. Mike.
Yeah.
Mike.
Uh-oh. Hello?
Oh, there you are. Okay. Start it over. Just do a countdown. You said Deontay Burnett.
Okay, here we go. 5, 4. Go.
I have some bad news for you, Mike. I have a sneaky suspicion that Deontay Burnett may not be a very good football player.
Oh, no. I have a suspicion he might be the 3rd best wide receiver on the team.
I mean,
we both could be right.
It's funny because they signed like 9 receivers.
Well, one of them got a personal foul on a punt.
He did.
So that was cool.
That is cool. I did notice that. Making a contribution.
I didn't see any of the other ones.
No, I don't think they played.
Jack Jones tried to fumble a kickoff, so that was cool.
Yes.
He wears 83 when he's in special teams. For those of you scoring at home.
What does he play when he's not? He
plays number 1 when he's on defense.
Oh, considerably better.
Yes, a much better number.
Yes.
I did not see Batiku. I don't think he got in. Because, I mean, why? Why bother, right?
No. Don't need it.
Who cares, right? It's like no big deal. I actually was about to – I live tweeted the game. So if anyone wants to see my thoughts as they're happening, you can go to the Tiltingground Twitter. I was about USC DBs are for real. And that's when the big first touchdown happened. So that was fun. But other than that, I think the DVs played pretty well. When the D-line's garbage, like, what do you expect from them?
Yeah, I mean, you don't like the 2 touchdowns, like the one you don't cover a guy, and then another one it's like you throw him out of bounds and then he comes back in.
It's kind of fluky-ish.
Yeah, it's like I don't really
fluky Jace.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like they're good. Like, I don't know. I feel like right now, Notre Dame SC, like I have no idea.
Awesome.
I have no idea what's going to happen. Although I would say that, like, just judging based on like what I saw our defensive line do, man, make sure Ronald Jones and Justin Davis are rested.
Right.
They're going to get a lot of work.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Hey, that's not for another like 3 months. So.
That's true.
It might be the Sam Darnold era by then.
Well, our Notre Dame season just already ended, so
That's
we
true.
can move on to 2017 at this point.
The sad thing for you, your season's over. Pac-12 South is still on the table for USC.
Yeah.
So, I mean, my prediction's still good for the Trojans.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that made me mad that I forgot? Let's see. Cedric Ware got a touch before Ronald Jones. That's stupid.
Not well thought out.
No, like I don't even know how that happens. On the 4th down on the second offensive USC drive, Juju Smith-Schuster not in the game.
Huh.
That's good. That's good coaching.
That's a decoy.
It's like if everyone like, I just don't get it. Like, oh, so now they can really just go one-on-one on each side of the field. Like, it's like, come on, man. Like, put your best player out there. I'm still mad about. I just want to say it again. I'm still mad that there were no screens, no reverses or anything to Juju Smith. Like, just something. Just try to get on the ball, man. He's the best.
A way just to get him involved.
Yeah, like you should have thought. I feel like you should know this might happen,
right?
And have some kind of like emergency like ripcord plan, like I don't know, or even put a Dory Jackson in, like just to have him run.
Say
just something.
If that's how it goes, put Juju in the backfield.
Right, like just to change it up, like
yeah.
Oh, what like put Juju Smith and a Dory Jackson in the backfield, and like your other receivers on the end. It's like, wait, what are they doing? Like, just
do something.
Like, just like take beat off the Alabama defense. It's killing you. Like, make them have to think.
Right.
It's like, nah, I'm just gonna run this play right into the guard.
Right.
It's like, nope. Now I'm just gonna throw. It's not gonna work.
Like, yeah,
you're
gonna lose anyway. At least show us some good ideas.
Just something like make me happy. Make me feel like this is a good team.
Make me feel like you kind of know what you're doing, even though it's not going to work.
Yeah, I have zero faith in this coaching staff.
Yeah, it's like, oh, like it's not working, obviously, because they're better, but at least it was a good idea.
Right.
It's like I kind of see what you're going for.
Ugh. All right, I think I got it all out.
Right,
next week the Trojans play Utah State, who, you never really know how good teams like that are. Las Vegas has it at, I believe it was 16.5. But let me confirm that nothing's changed. The USC Trojans. Let's see there, and it's early. It's an early morning home game, by the way.
I was gonna ask you. So it's an 11 a.m. kickoff,
which is super early.
Which is just, I mean,
disrespectful. Really,
it really is disrespectful. Like if I'm a player, I'm like, dude, this is an Occidental.
Like, I just played Alabama last week, and now I have to play Utah State at 11 in the morning.
We just played Alabama in Texas Stadium, and now I'm playing. How many people do you think are going to go to that game? How many people do you think will be in the stadium at kickoff?
Wow, it's the home opener, so I want to say a lot, but after the abysmal performance against Alabama,
I want a number. It holds 90,000. What's the number?
I'm vacillating if I want to go over 70.
You think 70?
I'm going to say 68.
68,000?
68 for the home opener.
I was thinking closer to 50.
So they have that going. It is Utah State at 11 in the morning. Uh-oh.
Hello?
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 Michael?
I can see that you can't hear me.
I can hear you.
Greg?
Yes?
Okay, good. Awesome.
Mike? Michael?
I have a lot of notes today about when the sound went out.
Michael?
Oh my God.
Michael?
Greg?
Yes? Michael?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay.
Okay.
We need to figure out some kind of phrase.
Yeah.
Because we're both saying, "Can you hear me?" It's like, well, wait, are you answering me?
So I didn't. Mike. Oh my God.
Oh my God. All right, I'm gonna hang up and come back.
All right, well,
I'm gonna hang up and come back.
Okay. Okay.
How are we?
Good.
Okay. All right, we were talking about the attendance.
Yeah, so I said 50. I said closer to 50, and I didn't hear what you said.
Okay, here we go. Hold on, I gotta write it down. 59. Right around 50. You think the big loss is gonna hurt them that much?
Yeah. I mean, big loss plus 11 a.m. kick. I mean,
that is true. And Utah State. It's not even like a good team.
Yeah, it's like, who's going to get excited for that?
Well, I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to give the points.
You're giving the points.
Because they just can't stink up the joint 2 weeks in a row.
I mean, that makes sense to me. Like, I honestly, like, I don't feel like USC is that bad.
They're not no touchdowns bad.
Yeah, if you give them time to block and do stuff, like if you give, the receivers time, like Utah State can't take away Juju the way Alabama can.
Right. And Utah State's second corner can't guard Darius Rodgers.
Yeah.
Bama's can. All right, you have any fun Notre Dame news and notes before we get out of here?
News and notes.
Oh, I almost forgot. Reader email question. We got one. We actually got one.
Let's hear it.
I know. All right, this is from Dimitri in Santa Barbara.
Okay.
And he wanted to know where we think Juju Smith will end up ranking on the USC all-time receiver pantheon.
In terms of what?
Keyshawn Johnson, Marquise Lee, Johnny Morton, just in our own opinion, not so much stats.
I mean, low.
Low.
Because
out of the top 5?
Well, because like Keyshawn Johnson is associated with
greatness.
Like, not just greatness, but like having 200 yards in the Rose Bowl. And it's like
I do.
Johnny Morton is associated with, I mean, like the NFL and stuff. I mean, I guess he could be seen as like better than Johnny Morton. Like he didn't have a signature moment.
Yet.
No, Johnny Morton didn't.
Oh, Johnny Morton. Yeah. Okay. He was just good.
And like Marquise Lee, like he just had some phenomenal seasons. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like the one year, like wasn't he a Heisman finalist?
He might have been, or he might have been like number 6 or something.
Yeah. So like Juju, he's not going to be that. So, I mean, I guess
not after this weekend.
No, I mean, well, I don't know. Would you consider Curtis Conway better than him, just in terms of his career?
I remember when we did this, and Curtis Conway and flying passing offenses. I'm trying not to go for recency bias too.
Right.
See, the thing that might happen for Juju though is he might be a really good pro.
I mean, like, is he better than Mike Williams at USC? Like,
No.
Mike Williams at USC was amazing.
Yeah, some people say he's the best USC receiver of all time. I think those people are wrong, but he's number 2.
Dwayne Jarrett had a really good career. I mean,
yeah.
So, you know, it's hard. It's hard to be put in that category when you're not winning games,
right?
Like the other guys did.
I think he's outside the top 5.
Yeah,
he's looking at. I mean, he still has a season.
I mean, he definitely has a chance, but I don't know.
I agree.
He didn't get the benefit of coming around at the right time.
True. So, any Notre Dame news and notes?
I don't think any current receiver is going to be considered for Notre Dame top 5. If that makes you
okay. Makes me feel a little better.
No, I guess Torrey Hunter Jr. like he's got a concussion or whatever.
So he probably won't.
He probably will not, considering there's a short turnaround.
Let's see. USC news and notes. Oh, outside linebacker Don Hill has been added to the can practice but cannot participate in games list due to criminal investigation.
Okay.
So good luck to him. He was part of the same incident as Osa Messina.
Yeah. You know, good luck to him and all that stuff.
Unless he's guilty, and then Fry. like I don't know.
It's not a good story.
It's not a great story.
Not a good story.
We don't want to make light.
No, we do not.
Any other? Let's see. And then Jabari Ruffin will be out the first quarter against Utah State. Great. He's a backup anyways.
So all 4
he's actually Don Hill's backup, yeah.
All 4 of the remaining arrested players played on Saturday.
Well, I saw that. Yeah.
On Sunday, yeah. I mean,
it's a good. I guess that means they get to play next week, right? For Notre Dame.
Not necessarily. I mean, Notre Dame.
Who knows?
They do weird stuff.
Yeah. I think that's it.
Yeah.
All right, Greg. It was a rough week for both of us, and hopefully next week is better.
Let's hope for better days.
Listeners, if you have any questions or comments for us, get us at tiltingground@gmail.com or our Twitters. Greg, what's your Twitter?
At Greg2126.
He was on fire this weekend.
I was on fire. I was pretty fired up.
And there's the Tiltingground Twitter, and I'm Michael Muto on Twitter, and we'll all retweet Greg's article when he posts it this week.
Should be up tomorrow.
UHND.com. Follow us on iTunes. Oh, another thing. There's a like button on the bottom of the website page for Facebook. Just hit that.
Hit it.
And just hit it. Hit it for us, you know?
Not hard.
That's gets the people out there, gets us some more listeners. We really like doing it, and I feel like the more people that listen, the better the show gets.
Yeah.
So other than that, Greg, fight on.
Go Irish.